Dating in 2026 has become a puzzle many women are tired of solving. This episode dives into the modern dating paradox, a world where endless options collide with rising loneliness, where independence is celebrated, yet emotional connection feels harder to find. Through sharp cultural insight and real stories, we unpack why love today feels both more accessible and more confusing than ever.
So I wanted to talk to you about dating today.
Yeah.
So I think everyone can agree dating has become really something that's done on apps like Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
And it's very much superficial. You look at a picture, swipe left or right. If the person's attractive, right, not attractive, left. And it's a sad reality if you think about it, because can you really rely on a picture? Do you really want to choose?
Pictures are deceptive.
110%. Like Photoshop exists.
Yeah.
People can pose. People can dress up. Like it's not realistic whatsoever.
Exactly.
So, and then there's also the matter of, you can set preferences on dating apps, right? You can be like, oh, you want this person to be 6 feet tall, or you want them to be, whatever. Like, there's also a feature of not nationality, but where are they from? Are they white? Are they, I set so many preferences on there. And I wanted to ask you, why do you think when a woman has preferences for who she wants to date, immediately she is labeled as too picky or elitist or she's asking for too much?
That's an interesting question. I mean, personally, I don't find a fault with having a list of standards for anyone, be it a man or a woman or anyone, probably a human, I would say.
Yeah.
But let me just flip this and present it in a way. How many of us, even before labeling, well, someone is picky or whatever, how many of us actually take the time to list certain standards for ourselves and what we bring to the table?
I mean, it's always more difficult to talk about yourself and give yourself standards than it is to do it for another person.
Yeah, because that's the easiest thing. Yeah, bring me this. That's my menu card.
And doing it for yourself is intimidating.
Yeah.
It's harder.
Exactly, that's what we've been talking about in our previous episodes as well. So, labeling someone quickly, well, you are pretty... What about standards for yourself?
I mean, I feel if... Again, when talking about standards, if you have that standard for yourself, it's completely reasonable for you to have that standard for someone else.
Yeah.
Let's say, me personally, I'm in university, I like learning, and, in an ideal world, I would like to be with someone who also has higher education, because I just know I wouldn't get along with someone otherwise, just because of how my brain works. So it's I don't think it's very unfair for a woman to have realistic preferences. Now, if she's saying she wants someone to be 6'6" and then have a 6-pack, 8-pack, or whatever, it's okay, fine, a little superficial. But even then, if a guy says he wants a girl to be 5'2" and have an hourglass figure and blue eyes and blonde hair, how is it that won't be labeled as superficial though? That's just gonna be, that's his type.
All the things that you just mentioned, firstly, majority, I'm not saying everyone does that, but people have those standards set in terms of the superficial aspects, body type, color, race, rather than really taking time to look into the person and understanding the values they come with.
Yeah.
That's very rare, because if we have not done that work with ourselves, how can we ask that from someone else?
You can't.
The thing you just mentioned, even with regard to standards, yes, we might have standards in terms of, well, the person should be educated from this background. I really love the thing that you just mentioned. If you've done that, then that's completely fine to have that standard. But if I have not, and now I know the easiest way to get this is to expect from someone else.
That's unfair.
What are we trying to do here?
100%, and I think I want to bring up this topic of like, girls often get labeled as gold diggers, as in they're just dating for the money. And I'm like, okay, like, yes, I know this has probably happened. And I'm sure men have also been gold diggers.
Yeah.
Let's not
Yeah,
forget
of
that.
course, of course.
But,
It's both ways.
yeah, however, if a woman just wants a guy who has a stable job, that's not being a gold digger. That's just wanting a stable life for yourself. Like, I've seen people who struggle with money. And personally, if someone has no goals for their future and someone doesn't plan on getting a job, doesn't plan on doing anything, it's not even about the money anymore. It's more like, you have no hopes for your life. You have no goals. You have no motivation for anything. But that's not what people are going to think about. It's going to be, she's a gold digger. She wants someone who has money. Is it really that bad to want someone who can afford things?
It's definitely not bad to, of course, who does not want a stable and like, I know things are never certain in life, but you would still expect a certain level of certainty. You don't want to end up somewhere with someone that you guys have to think about where do we get our next meal from.
Exactly. It's like people love to talk about like the state of the economy right now. Everything is so expensive, right? But if a woman wants a man with money, gold digger.
And what's even more disturbing here is we are quickly labeling women as gold diggers. And again, it ties back to the concept of self-worth.
Yeah.
If you are so deeply impacted by what people think of you, well then you'll start thinking of yourself, and then you'll start trapping yourself in guilt for doing something that is right for you. So this entire cycle is somewhat linked together. And if we lose sight of one, the entire system and the entire cycle then collapses, and that's the exact.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so internalized that women themselves, no one has to tell them, they're just gonna lower their standards because they don't want to be labeled as these things.
Yeah.
That just goes to show how powerful
Internalization is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I also wanted to talk to you about, dating multiple people. How I'm sure in movies and in real life, we have all seen a guy who is dating multiple women and being praised for it, right? It's like, oh, you're so manly, you're so amazing, how do you get this many women? But then the second a woman, not even dating, let's just say looking at two or more guys, promiscuous, she's not trustworthy.
It's a question about
she's
character,
fake.
for sure.
So it's like, why is it that immediately when a woman just shows a slight interest in dating or just, exploring her options, which she rightfully should, immediately her entire character, her entire worth is put on the line?
I love that question, and it's so deeply interesting because, again, I know I might be repeating myself, but it's a matter of worth. We know women are low on their self-worth. And the society has created itself in a way where even if you don't have to say a word to a woman, the way you even look at her will make her feel guilty about herself, will make her feel ashamed about herself, will make her feel worthless about herself. Why? Because she's already operating at a lower frequency of worth. So it's pretty easy. And that's the reason you don't really have to do something very severe to make a woman feel that she is not valued. All these little things, the way you look at segregating, gossiping, spreading rumors, passive aggression, making her feel bad about exploring her options. These are so trivial that it's so easy to bring her worth down. I was someone who got my worth impacted just by words. The person did not have to do anything. And I would say it's not only the person's fault, it's mine as well, because I gave that person the opportunity to please come and impact me.
I mean,
it was with my approval that the person could impact me. Well, what if I didn't even give that approval? Well, what if I didn't let those words affect me? I gave that chance to.
I mean, it's difficult.
It is difficult. It is difficult, but it's immunity. Would you want a weakened immune system and be impacted by every? There are thousands, millions, and trillions of cells and germs around us, right? We do have a strong immune system to help us deal with that. If we didn't, we would have fallen sick like every minute, right?
Yeah.
It's immunity, and that immunity is lacking.
Yeah, I mean,
and what I term it as is emotional immunity.
I fully agree with you, but it's, to be fair, it is difficult to gain that immunity when the society you live in is so against you.
What is easy in life?
Nothing.
Feeding yourself is not easy.
Nothing.
Moving your hand from the plate and getting it into your mouth is not easy. You have to have a lot of coordination with your hands and with your teeth, the work and then of the digestive system. So nothing is easy ever in life.
True. That is very true. I'm going to ask you, how do you think that, we've established that society will use this against women?
Yeah.
And it does. How do you think that women themselves use these insecurities and these, everything caused by these double standards in dating between men and women? How do they use these insecurities that form from this against each other? Women against each other.
Could you tie it down for me?
So, how do you think these insecurities that develop, it's like you can't date, women themselves will say, you can't date more than one guy or you'll be labeled as this, or you're going to be labeled as that, or you can't dress like that with men because then they're just going to think that you're easy or you're untrustworthy or you're just, doing this. And it'll be women saying that to each other. How do you think... How much do you think this is impacted by these double standards? And why do you think women do this?
That's interesting. I feel like, a lot of... Okay, so it again stems from a sense of insecurity.
Yeah, for sure.
Insecure about oneself, insecure about the other person, masking it as scare, masking it as genuinity, masking it as friendship. When in reality, I might be like, what if the guy is so hot and what if she takes him away? My chances of getting him would be lost.
I mean, that's definitely...
I am telling you something which is real, which goes on in the thoughts, but not verbally. And many people listening to this can associate with that. So, are we really... And all those examples that you just mentioned, what is the guy going to think of you? Why are you so concerned about what the person is going to think of you? What do you think of yourself?
I mean, it's so normalized. It's so normalized.
That is the thing. We have normalized a lot of things which are unhealthy. Stress is normal.
Yeah.
Worry is normal. Fear is normal. Yes, a certain amount of fear or stress is normal, but for me personally, I feel it's coming more from a sense of insecurity.
Yeah.
And women somewhere also encourage this cycle.
Yeah.
But I really don't know how to answer this.
I mean, I don't really think there's an answer to it, right? It's like you said, women encourage this, and also, as you were saying before, nothing's easy in life, right? Everything takes effort. But if you don't even, I think women don't even realize that they're doing this. So how can you stop something if you don't even know it's there? If you don't know you're sick, you're not going to go get medicine for it.
100%.
If you don't know that you're contributing to these negative stereotypes, these negative cycles, you're never really going to stop, right? Because a woman, maybe like, let's say your mother tells you don't dress like that because guys might think this. She probably doesn't think she's doing anything bad. She's protecting you from getting harmed. She's protecting you from getting your reputation ruined, right? But if she becomes aware that why am I saying that? Don't guys say this. Why am I saying this? Why am I helping this type of normalization to occur? Then maybe she might think twice before saying this. But if she doesn't know, why would she not say it, right?
I love that thing that you brought up, and what's even more interesting here is the problem when we are just unconsciously operating and sending out signals and sending messages which we are just receiving from the society keeps happening when we are not in connection with ourselves. How many of us can have true, honest, genuine conversations with ourselves?
Not a lot.
We don't want to even hear our inner voice. Forget about even having a direct, honest, genuine conversation with yourself. And when that does not happen, awareness is going to be a far-fetched dream for you.
Yeah.
And if that's a far-fetched dream for you, then I'm sorry, you're going to operate in this cycle for not for a lifetime, but for many lifetimes.
I mean, I will say that I do, I think we can both acknowledge that we are privileged here. We have access to education. Yeah. We have access to a lot. So what we say might sound obvious to some, but to others, it's a huge thing.
Alien, yeah.
It's a huge, to others, this is like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
Like, this is not how it works.
Yes.
And I can't be mad at you for thinking this way when it's all you've known. But this is the point of this, right? To get a message out.
Yeah, exactly. To expose you to something which you've never been exposed to, or to think about things that you probably would have thought, but then doubted yourself for thinking that way.
Doubt is, oh my God, we can also have such a long conversation about doubt, because when you're unsure about yourself, about how you keep saying, doubt is going to be such a big thing, because you're going to completely, if you don't have confidence in yourself, all you have is doubt.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything with doubt.
And
if you doubt yourself, nothing's going to work.
And you know what's interesting? I came across this post and it was talking about you can believe in both, either confidence or doubt. You have to believe, right? Now it's your choice. What do you want to believe in? For confidence also you need to create a belief. For doubt also you have to create a belief. Now choose. You have to invest your energy to create a belief. Many people will invest their belief energy in creating doubt rather than creating confidence. So it's all a matter of choice.
I love that. I'm going to ask you one last question to wrap this up a little bit. In the beginning, we were talking about how, dating has become very much of an online thing.
Yeah.
Do you think if we keep using these dating apps, that we have a chance to break from these superficial aspects that we're attracted to? Or do you think dating apps are just never going to change, that it's always going to be very superficial?
The day when people tap into their sense of self-awareness is the day when dating itself as a concept will change. The easiest way to put it is start dating yourself, and you'll see the dating culture change.
Okay, I like that.